Bison chili on a wood stove. Count me in. Today I'm going to be making bison chili on the wood stove. I love cooking chili in the fall outside over the pit. I'm going to start with about a tablespoon of ghee. You don't have to use ghee. You can use any type of fat you like. I've had this pan on here for about 5 minutes. I'm going to be using bison. This is all natural, 90% lean, 10% fat. This is 1.25 pounds. I'm going to be adding this whole package and this. This was probably maybe half to 3/4 of a pound of bison. I snatched a hamburger from it last night, but normally 1.25 pounds is enough. I'm going to add this because I'm going to be making a large batch of chili. Right here is 1 large green bell pepper minced, 1 medium yellow onion, and 2 cloves of garlic all minced. I'm going to saute that in the ghee. Now with wood stove cooking, it's hard to regulate the heat versus on the stove. You could turn it lower. Let me go ahead and saute that and I'll be right back. And I'm going to go ahead and have Justin open up the 4 cans. The actual printable recipe will be on the blog. I have instant hot water in my kitchen. I wash all the lids and then I dry them. I'm going to have Justin open all the cans. He's going to drain them in this pan, and then the juice from this will be put either in the worm bin or the compost tumbler. Don't waste the juice, it's really good. Or you can even save the juice, freeze it, and add it to your soups and stews. It works great as a natural thickener, and it gives a lot of flavor, and there's a lot of vitamins in the juice. I don't add the juice because it would make the chili too watery. Justin's going to put the kidney bean juice in the compost tumbler and not the worm bin today. He has to unlock the side, and what I like to do is come out about once a week, or when I fill it, rotate it 1 time, getting very full. Perfect. Unlock the door, hold your breath. Look at that beautiful compost in there. That was from all winter and summer long. Go ahead and add the juice. And we're not going to tumble it. I'm going to let the kidney juice percolate down into the compost. I just want it to evaporate inside of the compost. So we're just going to shut the door, and tomorrow when he comes here, he will give it a tumble in the morning. And we are back. As you can see, very lightly cooked. I don't like to brown and crisp my onions and peppers and garlic. Now I'm going to go ahead and add, this is roughly 2 pounds of ground bison, 90% lean. I'm going to go ahead and lightly cook the bison until it's completely finished. I have a lid that actually puts the liquid back into the pan, which is great. I'm going to put the lid on this, let it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, stir it, let it cook another 1 to 2 minutes, and then I will add all the rest of the ingredients. I'm cooking this on rather low heat. I'm going to put the lid back on and let it cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. And I have 1 cayenne pepper. That should be enough. I'm going to go ahead and add that now. Bone broth is purely optional. About a teaspoon, and I usually always add my liquid smoke, just a little bit, maybe a tablespoon. Again, optional. And as this starts cooking, maybe in an hour, if it's not hot enough, then I will add some of my chili powder and some gram masala, aka Justin's
correction.
That looks good enough. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of pink, it's just going to continue to cook. I'm going to go add the beans, the diced tomatoes, paste, and the tomato sauce right now. When I don't have any tomatoes from the garden, Prego is my next best choice. Thank you, Justin. Here are our kidney beans, all drained. Now you may think this looks very watery. Trust me, especially on the wood stove, it will cook down and get thicker as it cooks. I will be adding 1 small can of paste. What I like to do is add the can of diced tomatoes in the container with the tomato sauce and shake it up. This way every last bit comes out. We recycle everything, so the tin and the plastic will be rinsed and put in the recycle bin to take back to our local recycle center. Now I usually use the dried kidney beans, 1 full bag. I soak them in filtered water overnight. The next day, when I have the wood stove lit, I cook them for an hour on the wood stove. Half hour to an hour, I let it simmer. I drain them, and then I put them in as I'm doing now. But I didn't have any in the house, and I did have the cans of beans for when we have our rice. I only want 1 can for dinner. I don't want to go through the process of cooking dried beans. So therefore, I tapped into the beans I had in my pantry so I can make chili this morning. And look at the deer that came to visit. They always come to see what I'm cooking. I think they smell the wood smoke, and they walk down to the pond. And as you see, there are 3 or 4 of them that came to visit this morning. I put the wood stove on very low, so right now you see it's not even bubbling. I want that. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, Justin's going to come out and give it a stir. If it's too watery, if he sees that it's too watery, he'll leave the lid off for 20 minutes, come back and put the lid on. This is a good time to think about if you're gonna make buttermilk rolls, biscuits, or even cornbread. Up here is a warming oven. This is why I like for my rolls and breads and yeast to rise. It works perfect. Very, very warm, but not too hot that it would make them rise too fast.
And we're back. It's been roughly an hour and 15 minutes. You get to do this with me. We get to stir this together. This is a self-basing lid. It has little nipples on the inside that drops water down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the lid and we're going to set it on the side. And once we do that, the water is going to dissipate instead of going into our chili. Right now, all we want is for our chili to thicken. So our chili is starting to boil a little in the back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it because we don't want the back to cook too much and we want it to evenly cook. So now that we've rotated it and we've stirred it, we're going to put the lid back on. Currently, we're making some buttermilk bread rolls in the bread machine, and it takes about an hour and a half for the dough to make itself in the bread machine. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to at least cook our chili for another 45 minutes to an hour to match up about the same time that the bread machine rolls will be done.
And we are back. It's been a few hours later, and our chili is done, and our buttermilk rolls are all done. Visit the blog for the recipe. Nice downloadable, printable recipe. And if you remember, when we went to the lodge outlet, we got the lodge bowls and plates. We had them in the warming oven, so they're nice and warm. Justin's nice big hearty bowl, and I like to eat little and always come back. It's tricky baking in an oven on the wood stove. Really nice. These are called, I call them pull apart rolls. Look how light and flaky that is. I don't know if you can see that. It's stringy, really good rolls. Don't forget about leftover chili. Makes an awesome chili dog. Just ask Justin. Here you go.
Looks so delicious. Thanks, Mother.
And there you have it. We're gonna go eat, and make sure you visit the blog. Give a thumbs up, give a like, and most important, share on social media. We appreciate you and see you on the next video.
Cut!